So you want to start a virtual assistant business. Well, first of all, congratulations, because you made it to the right place. This is Free Mama TV, and my name is Lauren Golden, and I am the founder of the Free Mama movement. And I teach people just like you how to start and run a successful freelancing business from home. And right here on Free Mama TV, we have hundreds of resources, tutorials, and all kinds of behind the scenes stuff about how to go ahead and achieve that for you. Today's video is going to be about things that you need to know before you actually get started as a virtual assistant. And I have 5 facts that I'm going to be bringing to the table for you, and also recommending other videos right here on this channel that will walk you through the how-tos so that you can get up and running in no time flat. It's funny because when I first started the Free Mama movement back in 2017, a lot of people weren't familiar with the idea of freelancing yet, or didn't know what a virtual assistant really was or the type of work that they did. But because of the global pandemic and businesses' necessity to take things online and leverage the internet in order for us to do business, a lot more people have caught on. But just so that we're not making any assumptions, I want to dive into what exactly a virtual assistant is. You're probably familiar with executive assistants, personal assistants. Back in the day, we used to even say secretary, but it's a lot of the admin type work that is going to be at the forefront of why someone is going to look for a virtual assistant. More on that in a little bit. The cool thing about being a virtual assistant, though, is that you can be completely remote. A lot of times people are hiring virtual assistants as independent contractors. You might have heard me say freelancing earlier. When you work as a freelancer, you're not an employee, which gives you more control over your rate, who you work with, and the hours you perform that work. This is a really important distinction because some people do hire virtual assistants as full-time employees. So make sure you know which one's right for you, and make sure when you are talking to prospective clients or job opportunities, you know and understand what the implications of those roles are. Now, I could go on and on about why VA work is some of the best work that you can get started doing if you want more control over your time, your financial future, and the ability to work from anywhere in the world. In today's video, I'm going to show you how easy it is for you to get started, the things you need to know before you start talking to prospective clients about your business, and some tips for you to go ahead and get started so that you can be making money sooner rather than later. Quick disclaimer, like I mentioned, some people hire virtual assistants as employees and other people are looking for freelancers. This channel is really dedicated to starting your own business and creating a freedom-based business. So for that reason, most of my tips and things that you're going to learn here on Free Mama TV are geared towards independent contractors, freelancers, service providers, self-employed people, business owners. You get the idea. Let's keep going. Okay, the first thing that you need to know before you start your virtual assistant business is that there are a lot of different services that you can offer. In fact, you can go down to the link right below this video right now and check out my 70 skills checklist. It actually has over 99 skills now that people are hiring for all the time. These are broken up into different categories about different types of work that you can do as a VA. So if you're more creative, there are certain tasks that people are still maybe not going to a graphic designer yet, although maybe that's a way that you could grow in the future. But they're going to a virtual assistant wanting that support on maybe Canva for some social media type graphics that they don't necessarily need a full-on graphic designer for. There's also more technical skills as a VA. Maybe you're working on WordPress, helping somebody with their blog or their SEO or publishing content. And then there's also the administrative and organizational tasks, which is really, really where a lot of people get started when they're on the hunt for a virtual assistant, because they need help with all the logistics, right? The emails, the calendar appointments, all the different balls that get thrown up in the air when somebody is managing a business. And that is exactly why they are going to come to you. So the first thing to understand is that not everybody's going to be a fit, because not everybody's looking for the same type of VA. My best tip for you is to download the 70 skills checklist and make sure you figure out the type of work that you want to be doing as a virtual assistant so that you can be really clear when you're talking to other business owners about what does and doesn't interest you or is not inside of your skill set. There's no right or wrong here. The sky is truly the limit. The second thing you need to know is just like you can offer a lot of different things, not all clients are looking for the same thing either. In the VA world, and we'll talk about this more in a little bit about why it's kind of the low-hanging fruit, but in the VA world, this is an international business. Because you can work with people from anywhere in the world, people work with people from anywhere in the world. There are lots of virtual assistants overseas that are going to be a lot less expensive and charge a lot less money than someone in the United States or Canada might charge, for example. I have this video right here that I definitely recommend that you check out, where we talk about how to overcome objections as a virtual assistant. If you have somebody talking about how they can find somebody who's cheaper, or what's the benefit of working with a domestic VA, and you're not quite sure how to answer that question, again, make sure you check out this video. It's really going to help you feel solid about your role as a virtual assistant and the types of clients that really want to work with you. They're out there. Okay, there's an absolute ton of opportunity out there for virtual assistants. And the reason why is because most solopreneurs or even scaling freelancers, the first investment that they're going to make in terms of outsourcing is going to be to a virtual assistant. The good news is that there's a lot of opportunity out there. And so by you figuring out the services you want to offer, the types of things that are an advantage to you as a business owner are only going to help you connect with the entrepreneurs who are looking for a virtual assistant just like you. What this also means is that it can be a competitive market. It doesn't mean there's not a place for you. It just means you need to do a really good job. So when you start your virtual assistant business, it's really important for you to keep two things in mind. The first thing you need to remember is that entrepreneurs are hiring you to make their life easier. If they are to the point where they are wanting to give away their hard-earned money from their business to you, it's because they are probably stressed out. They've got a lot going on. Maybe they're working way too hard. Maybe their wheels are spinning on the admin and more mundane or daily tasks that's not really in their zone of genius. Maybe they're more of a visionary, or they're out busy wanting to sell or fulfill with their clients. They need your help and they know that, but for them to give you their hard-earned money, you have to have their back. You need to be proactive at solving problems for them. You need to be always looking for solutions, ways to make things faster, easier, less expensive. You need to make sure that you are treating their clients, depending on the work that you're doing, with the same level of care that they would. By being resourceful, being proactive, and being kind and courteous, you are going to make such an impact on their life that they are never going to want to let you go. This is how you make sure that you keep clients long-term, and that is how you gain stability as a freelancer and as a virtual assistant. The second thing to keep in mind is that because they are paying you, they, whether they're aware of it or not, are looking for a return on investment, or ROI. Now, a lot of times with virtual assistants, the return that an entrepreneur is getting is time, right? You're now managing their inbox, or you're now creating these things on Canva, or you're posting to the blog for them, and therefore they can use that time doing other things. However, if you want to really be invaluable, if you want to stand out so much so that you are getting referrals coming your way to the point that you can't even handle that many clients in your book of business, you need to be thinking about ways that you could maybe add a financial ROI to the entrepreneur's investment in you. So what I mean by that is, within your role, whatever the scope of your services are that you're helping with, is there a way to help you at least pay for yourself? So for example, this might look like if you're working in client care and you're managing emails and you're having conversations with current customers or clients, looking for opportunities to cross-sell them into something else or upsell them. It might look like retention, whether it's a membership or somebody's upset, there's a disgruntled customer doing such a good job that you're going to help salvage that relationship, save that sale, and therefore have a more tangible return on investment. Again, it can be a crowded space out there on the internet. And now that you're looking into being a virtual assistant, I'll just tell you that you're going to see it everywhere, but it's been here for years. Okay. The way that you stand out is by doing an exceptional job. And some of these tips that we talked about are exactly how you do that. For more on this topic, make sure you check out this video. It'll help you stand out and it'll help you get more clients more quickly. Okay. The fourth thing that you need to know about being a virtual assistant is that it is the lowest hanging fruit to getting started. Okay. I think I mentioned that earlier, but it's worth discussing. Why? Because while it's the lowest hanging fruit, meaning it is so incredibly available, it's accessible. You don't need a certification. You don't need to have gone to college. You don't need a million hours in your schedule for you to go ahead and get paid to get started working as a VA. And yet I see it as the position with the most hesitation. We think we need all of this stuff. We talk ourselves out of it. We think we're not ready or we don't know enough. But the reality is, to check someone's email or confirm someone's calendar appointments, you're already qualified. Again, make sure you go download that skills checklist. I guarantee you, you already know how to do at least 10 things on that list. So please do not overthink it. In fact, we'll drop another link down there for you. It is our getting started checklist. If you're worried about what software you need to get started, if you're worried about how to market or position yourself online, it's going to go through a checklist of exactly what you need to know. Plus, we have these videos, which can also support you with both of those topics. All that to say, getting started as a VA is not difficult. All you need is to start having conversations with people, telling them that you're a virtual assistant, and get your hands dirty. Get in there, get started, get paid to figure it out, which brings me to number 5, which is that there's so much opportunity to grow. While working as a VA can be very, very fulfilling to have long-term relationships on someone else's team, it also gives you exposure to a lot of different branches within someone's business. You might learn that you actually love Pinterest or something else on social media or bookkeeping, or maybe you are a diehard for the admin and organization and you end up becoming a director of operations someday. The point is, the sky's the limit. The majority of people who come into the Free Mama community do in fact begin their virtual business as a virtual assistant. It's a way to gain confidence, gain skills, and gain traction before specializing in something where you really are passionate about the service you're providing. You have more leverage and you have the potential to earn more money. Speaking of pricing, hands down, one of the biggest questions that I get asked from new virtual assistants is how to structure your pricing. I have a pretty strong opinion about this and a couple different videos that you can check out. So make sure you visit these. We'll also put the links to all these videos and resources down below for you. Make sure you grab those 2 downloads, your 70 skills checklist, as well as your starting a virtual business checklist. And I promise you, you are going to be good to go. One last video that I'd love to recommend for you is things that people wish they would have known when they were getting started. That's what this video was all about. It's like, what do you need to know before you start? And I think one of the biggest key takeaways that you'll find from this resource is not to overthink it. Just get going, then you figure it out. You're going to grow. You're going to keep learning. Perfect does not exist. You're already ready to get going. So take a look through those resources, get those questions answered for yourself so that you can start having conversations with business owners and start making money as a virtual assistant. I'd love to hang out with you more and answer even more of your questions. So make sure that you join our free Facebook group. You can search the Free Mama Movement and hang out with us over there and ask all of your questions. And who knows, maybe I'll end up making an episode of Free Mama TV answering the question that you ask. Until next time, see you soon. I've started this like 5 times. The dog is driving me crazy. We're going to see if we can do this. And I'm just going to breathe and pause. It's going to be amazing. Too many thoughts in my brain at the same time. Come here. Come here. Toby. I'm going to bark as soon as I start again. Speaking of pricing, oh my gosh. Here's your shot for the end of the video. Thanks, Toby, for barking. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay.